may not come. The other things come. It's not something that grips you as much as the reality that you now have Christ.
But what if it's not waiting for something to come or to be successful? What if it's basic things like before you were able to feed your family, now you can't? It's not like I'm waiting to be famous or anything. I can't even do normal stuff now. Or like, okay, for instance, I work in a business where you kind of have to schmooze your way to excel in the business. Like, you know, it's established, you know, the people who kind of do well, you know, look the same, you know. So in order to get in that circle, you got to kind of smooth with them, and they drink and they go out and they do all kinds of stuff. And if you used to do that and now you don't because you're saved, you're going to have a harder time to climb up the ladder. What do you do with that? Your life is harder than it was before. You're not getting stuff. It's just basic stuff is not there anymore.
I don't know. I think that's just the hard. That's the hard part, man. Like, and it makes you question the Lord at times, man. Like, it makes you get angry with Him. It makes you like going from everything's okay, going from that state, going from everything's okay which you once have to like going from check to check and really like, man, and then you start questioning yourself like, did I make the right decision? Like, is this the right thing to do? You know, deep down inside, you know it's the right thing to do, but then you're looking at your circumstances. And I think, like, it's just real. Like, you know, I mean, I kind of think what she said is the truth, though. It's like, even though what you're saying, what you just said is like, it's not trying to pop off, but at the same time, that's the truth. It's like, Jesus is what you need. That's the only thing. If you don't move up, that's it. Like, if I got Him, He's gonna provide. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it at times it doesn't feel good, but I think that's what the deal is.
I think when you start asking yourself that question, you're realizing why He's doing it. Like, the reason you're asking is the reason why He's putting you through it. Because that expectation that your life was supposed to get better or at least stay the same was false from the beginning. Like, that idea that God is going to make your life better is not necessarily true. It's better in certain ways, but it's not better to the naked eye. Like, people won't be able to see the better in every single case. So, like what Maya said, is that your prize is God. Even if you have to give up comfort or give up security for the prize, you got to sell everything to get the prize. You know what I'm saying? You got to be willing to sell it all, even the security, even, you know, comfort, food on Thursday. I mean, everything is the cost for it. So, yeah, it's hard, but it's like, what else would you want to do? Would you want to give it back? Would you want to take your decision back?
I mean,
you know what I'm saying? You can't do that.
I mean, you have those moments where, like, you think of I always think of this movie, The Matrix, is like the best scenario. It's like the dude that he came out of it, but then he realized, he was like, yo, I'd rather go back because I'm eating good. Y'all got me eating this slop when I'm unplugged, and it's like crazy, and I went back in, like, you know what I mean? But to be honest, that's just a trick. Like, that's a trick.
Yeah, and I mean, that's a good example. Like, would you rather be destined for destruction but enjoy the ride, or be destined for greatness and struggle on the ride? Yeah. And that's a choice you got to make.
Yeah.
And what's confusing is when you see people who say that they're headed for the right destination, but they get everything they want.
Yeah, and
that's confusing.
And I think that's something I know personally I struggle with, is like, you see people that say that they may be following Christ, but they're doing stuff that you like, wow, you know what I mean? And
or even if they're not doing anything crazy, even if they are doing exactly what you would think a Christian should do, why are they getting stuff and you're not? Yeah, that's confusing. Because you're like, is there something wrong with me? Does God not love me? Yeah, like what's the problem? And it goes back to, it has nothing to do with that. It has absolutely nothing to do with your outward monetary physical results. Has nothing to do with what God has for you. It's all internal, all of it. So it's a tough thing, man, but I think that just asking the question is your answer. Why is my life harder? I mean, that question in itself shows you, like, God will let your life be harder so that you will realize how worthy He is. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's, I don't know. I think once you get it, you'll just get that. Like, it's okay.
But does that make you? Because I know at times, sometimes, and just being real, like, that made me doubt God. Sometimes it makes me doubt the Lord. Like, if it's gonna be hard like this, like what? Like, this doesn't make sense. Like, is it? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think if he can get you to realize that there's nothing else but him, he'll put you through it.
And when you look
you got to realize that there's nothing else.
And when you look at the picture, the story, the life of Jesus Christ, that was it. His life was really hard. You know, he didn't have a place to lay his head. He wandered from town to town. He wasn't respected. He was ridiculed very often. He died on the cross. You know, we heard him scream out on the cross, you know, that he didn't want to do that. And so I think his prayer life, his fasting, I think all of it is an example that we learn by. And that's how you understand it. Because I think we would have a lot harder time understanding if God hadn't allowed Jesus to come. Because then we would be like, well, we don't even have, you know, an example of why we should be doing this in front of our eyes. No, we do have the example. Because then it'd just be hearsay from, you know, all the accounts of the Bible, but we didn't have the flesh, the Lord in the flesh.
I think the realization is the scarier thing is getting everything you want. Because anything that makes you love this life more than the next life is terrible. Because you don't want any attachment to this. Like, this is not... Yeah. If you're living your life to get comfort here, you're missing the whole point of what we're doing here. The stuff we do, like Track Starz, which to somebody else may be like, oh, you guys get what you guys want, but the work the work that we do here the work that we do here is for God. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So if it looks great to you, realize what we're doing it for. This is not so we can get money. Trust that.
And let me ask this question.
This is not for us in any kind of way.
Let me ask this question, because I know it's going to be really hard for people to understand why I'm asking this question, but I think about it quite often, and it's not for myself, of course. But do you think there's a reaction from God if people are actually praying for him to take their lives? Like, God, this is just, I'm overwhelmed with these bills. Just take me now. You know, there was a story on the news not too long ago where this 89-year-old woman, or I think she was in her 90s, had her son beat her to death with a cane because she was ready to go see her husband and her other kids.
There's got to be a better way to die, I'm thinking even.
Right.
Like...
Right. Really? Well, the fact that the son even did that, I mean, he was old in himself, but the issue is, you know, that's just his word against anyone else's. I mean,
he could have been.
But so you're saying being suicidal is like, yo, it's better to die.
Yeah, I think certain people deal with that.
Are you asking if God answers those prayers? Is that
no? He said, what is the reaction from God?
Oh, wow!
Don't do that.
Thank you.
I just wonder.
But I think people think. I remember at one time Christian hip hop was on this whole like, I'll die for you, and I remember one time somebody's like, it's better to live than to die for him, because like meaning like it's easy to say like it's kind of easy to just die. It's not easy to die, but it's more easier for you to not suffer for Christ. It's easier to die for Christ than to suffer for Christ. You get what I'm saying? Like, what I mean like that is it's easier to say just take myself or commit suicide or whatever. It's more easier to do that than just say, hey, I'm living for you regardless of what it takes. And that's a whole different thing, because regardless of what it takes means, it may mean rejection. It may mean you ain't getting that bonus at your job. It may mean you're going to stay on your job where you hate your job. It may, you know what I'm saying? You there for a reason, and you like, you know what I mean? And I'm really speaking to myself, because
you preaching.
Yeah, like to me personally, she hears this all the time, and I'm like, I can't say that because I'm on camera. I don't enjoy what I do to get money. You know what I'm saying? Okay. But at the same time, it's like it's a hard pill to swallow. You know what I mean? Like,
and we're going to talk a little bit more about that specific topic in the Noteworthy coming up later. So, yeah, this is going to be interesting. All right, let's get back into it. You in the field with the Track Stars, Ryan Righteous, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah. Let's go.
Changing our hearts. I did it because my heart is different. Spark a change in our hearts. So search our own hearts. Search our own hearts. Spark a change in our hearts. I did it great to be back. I never left, but I stepped off beat to get on the right track. Moralism was my former religion. Traded my self-righteous rags for a heart of contrition. Blessed is the man whose sins have been forgiven. There's no room for me to boast in my status or position. I deserve to be deserted, inserted into a casket, but instead I was converted and saved from God's wrath. Even though I'm insecure and introverted, I proclaim the good news through faith in Christ. My broken life is counted perfect. Who would have thought that true biblical discipleship would change my heart more than world tours or fancy titles did? Thought I was done with the rap, yo. Even reached the point where sitting down to write a rhyme was unnatural. My motivation is not the money or contractual obligations. My passion is persuaded by a changed heart.
Spark a change in our hearts.
I did it because my heart is different.
Spark a change in our hearts.
Search our own hearts, search our own hearts.
Spark a change in our hearts.
I did it because my heart is different.
Spark a change in our hearts.
Search our own hearts, search our own hearts. They say my crew next. Yeah, like sweaters when the hood is gone. And I understand what they mean, but I think they understood us wrong. They got a misconception like the song Lecrae put us on. It's God who makes the movement strong. To his name all the glory belongs. Together we celebrate our collective success, but never use sharp positions to measure up our effectiveness. We could be on top of the charts, but still we lost in the dark. So instead we just playing our parts and praying for change thoughts. Listen, it's not the sound of the beat that turns the life around. It's not the way the rhyme flows. At a live show, it revives souls. No, it's the word of God we stand on. His power is perfected in our weakness. The spirit bears witness in the heart of the believer. So the artist is just a vessel. It's all about the redeemer. Dead men come alive when the gospel is heard. So the minister depends on God to work by his spirit and his word to change hearts.
Spark a change in our hearts.
I did it because my heart is different.
Spark a change in our hearts.
Search our own hearts, search our own hearts.
Spark a change in our hearts.
I did it because my heart is different.
Spark a change in our hearts.
Search our own hearts, search our own hearts. And what I really wanna see is changed hearts. For so long my aim was off, but it's not about me, my gift or my skill. Hearts get changed when the truth is revealed. The truth is revealed. Hearts get changed when Christ is revealed.
Ryan Righteous and Shantana.
Y'all 5 seconds to put your dream down and report to the dance floor.
Ryan Righteous and Shantana.
All the buses, we giving y'all 5 seconds to get close to an exit.
Track Starz, come out and pray.
5 seconds is up. Let's go.
You have just been bored. This is the mission field with the Track Starz. Get into it.
You're welcome to the mission field with the Track Starz, Ryan Righteous and Shantana.
All I know is I don't know nothing. I wish I had it figured out by now. My fair lady's in a dungeon, yeah. My lovely London bridge is falling down. Watching from the distance, wish I could make a difference, but I just make it difficult. So I'm grabbing my binoculars, cause I don't wanna get close. I've done enough damage for the both of us. Thinking I should hit the road, get invisible, vanish. But if I wait too long, you just may be gone forever. And I can't leave you here. We gon' disappear together. Any longer we can't harbor. Yeah. The ship was never really safe at bay. I've learned to love your shining armor. Don't forget to let me lead the way. Watching from the distance, wish I could make a difference, but I just make it difficult. So I'm grabbing my binoculars, cause I don't wanna get close. I've done enough damage for the both of us. I'm thinking I should hit the road, get invisible.